Okay, so as your how can I refer to myself? I'm like the person who does the least work for the most effort, and I've always been that person. That's why you probably will never see me on an Ivy League campus. I don't even apply places like that. I'm not willing to work that hard. I don't think I have to because this is America, okay? Like, and I feel like a lot of you guys are like missing kind of like what that means. And I'm sorry, but I think like George Bush is my favorite president for that reason. Like as I've gotten older, I've just realized the pure genius of George Bush. I mean, he's such a bro, and he just like has done just enough in his life to like get by. He's like known like just enough to just be like okay, and I feel like I'm that person too. Like I'm going to do the least amount of effort for the most amount of profit. Like that's the whole reason I went into tech for that brief period of time. It was like just enough to make me enough money to retire. That was the point for me. I don't know what everyone else was working for, but like that's what I was working for anyway. So my favorite bitch, Ann Coulter, has a new column, and I want to read it to you guys. It's called "They're Replacing You, Black America." So she wrote this on May 25th, 2022, by Ann Coulter. Liberals are screwing over African Americans again, um, sublimely confident that whatever they do, Democrats will never get less than 90% of the black vote. In the Buffalo, New York mass shooting 10 days ago, 18-year-old Peyton S. Gendron drove 200 miles to a grocery store jam-packed with the descendants of American slaves and gunned down as many people as he could. But instead of this being an anti-black thing, the media have decided no, it's an anti-immigrant thing based on the shooter's belief in the great replacement theory, which holds that elites are deliberately replacing historic Americans with immigrants. Trust us, it's all in his manifesto, and no, you can't see it. What? You don't trust the media to tell you the truth about the shooter's motive? Still, I can't help but notice that the shooter seemed really intent on killing black people. Yeah, I mean, he only wanted to kill black people. I mean, we're not confused about that. He drove 3.5 hours from Conklin, New York, to get to a city with remarkably few immigrants. Only 10% of Buffalo is foreign born, but it's 35% black. Much closer to Conklin than Buffalo is, for example, Middletown, New York, which is 39% Hispanic and 16% foreign born. In about half the time it took to get to Buffalo, he also could have driven to Utica, New York, which is 22% foreign born. And he would have cut his driving time by more than an hour if he'd gone to Synecdoche, New York, which is 17% foreign born. So why are the media insisting that the killer hated immigrants when it kind of looks like he mainly hated blacks? I was like, right. He hates blacks. Right. Anti-black racism is real. For one thing, midterm elections are coming, and voters are poised to have a say in the fabulous things Biden's done to our border. Oh, you think we should have a border? What? Do you believe in replacement? Moreover, Hispanics have begun to show a very slight willingness to vote for Republicans, coinciding with the Democratic Party's enthusiastic embrace of Black Lives Matter and thus black criminality. It turns out Latinos are generally opposed to getting beaten up and having their money stolen. Finally, of course, there's the fact that Democrats know there's nothing, absolutely nothing, that will stop black people from voting for them. You know, that has to change. I don't know. Black people need to wake up. Now they're just showing off. Yeah, Buffalo was a racist shooting, but watch this. We're going to make it about immigrants and we'll still get the black vote. That's kind of pathetic. After years of the media trying to turn every single event into proof that white people hate African Americans, at least there's a monstrous crime where even skeptics say, yeah, this one was totally about a white guy who hates black people. But the media decided that this week they needed to juice the immigrant vote. The madness, the wild, upside down insanity of the media pushing the great replacement theory as the motive for the Buffalo shooting is this: if anyone's being replaced by immigrants, it's black people. That's true too. I've also talked about that. Black people have always been here. Heard of the 1619 Project? The thesis and details may be comically false, but it's a plain fact that blacks have been here since 1619. Historic America is not a monolithically white country, it's a biracial country, black and white, and remained so for 2 centuries until Teddy Kennedy decided to change it with the 1965 Immigration Act. Of the two racial groups that formed 99% of America from the 1600s to the mid 1970s, which one do you think is getting the shorter end of the stick? Exactly my point. Yes. The white working class isn't popping champagne corks over mass immigration. Wait, the white working class isn't popping champagne corks over mass immigration, but black people get absolutely nothing out of it. That's a fucking thank you. If anyone does not understand this, black people who are not part of the, if you're not like a black billionaire, if you're not Kanye West rich basically, then you need to care about immigration simply because like you are competing for slots, okay? Like I still, as much as I'm saying all this shit about like being a server and how it's kind of like an easy job, y'all know I have privilege. I have model privilege. I have pretty privilege. I have skinny privilege. I have quite a lot. There's a lot of privileges that I have that makes like I have options. And if you don't have all the options that I have, I don't know. You might not be able to walk this walk. I'm telling you, I've had to figure out which cards to pull at which time and why, because like I can't just like coast through life that easily. You know what I'm saying? Rich people, mostly whites, are making out like bandits. Facts. Endless low skilled immigration has finally solved the servant problem. By now, so many hardworking Latinos have come in that virtually every upper middle class white family has a maid, a nanny, and a gardener. True. It's low wage workers, mostly black men, whose wages have been annihilated by competition from the cheap labor being dumped on the country. Not only have working class wages gone into the toilet, but a lot of jobs are totally off limits to black people because they don't speak Spanish or Chinese or Tagalog. For decades now, black professors, the U.S. Civil Rights Commission, and ordinary African Americans have been pointing out how immigration hurts them. Democrats don't care. And that's the story how unequivocally anti black mass murder became a crime against immigrants. More on the real replacement next week.